I'm going to teach you some of the science behind mind control. Yes, it's real. No, it's not just hypnotism. So imagine you're a mad scientist interested in controlling someone's behavior and you want to make them less aggressive. Problematic, but still, you want to do this. And you know that the brain is made up of neurons that are powered by electricity, and that if you could maybe find the cells that control aggression and turn them off, maybe you could make that person less aggressive. So what if there was a way to capture these aggression neurons in the brain? Back in the early 2010s, a team of scientists did this. They found a way to tag these aggression cells in the brain, pretty much giving them the ability to shut those cells down. This technique is called TRAP. And how it works is we know that neurons that turn on tend to make a particular substance called FOS when they're activated. So they use that knowledge to gain access to these FOS cells that turn on during aggression. So then they turned just these cells off and found that animals, in this case mice, were much less aggressive, even in stressful situations that they would ordinarily fight in. And it doesn't just have to be aggression. We can also trap cells that are involved in other behaviors and experiences like social bonding, stress, or even particular memories like fear memories that occur with PTSD. And it's honestly huge because now we can control the mice behavior, making them more or less stressed, more or less social, or forget their previous traumatic experiences. I actually use this technique as part of my neuroscience PhD work too. I first started off by capturing sex neurons. So we would put two opposite sex mice in a room together and then capture the cells that turned on while the magic happened. It was exciting because we were also able to show that these cells that turn on during sex were separate from cells that turn on during pain. So really just giving more evidence that these are pleasure-related cells. Then we did it for physical pain, which is the primary focus in our lab, and found that when you trap pain cells and then you turn them off, the animals experience less pain. So the next step, now that we have access to these neurons, is to map the connections that they have with other brain areas. Who are they talking to? Who's talking to them? And then we can get special sensors to track their activity so we can really see how pain is affecting these particular pain neurons so that we can eventually target them and turn them off for therapeutic purposes to help people that live with chronic pain or maybe have pain from an injury or surgery. It is so cool that the science and technology has taken us so far, but honestly a bit disturbing considering it's literally mind control. Definitely not viable in humans right now because you have to genetically edit the mice. And of course that raises ethical concerns. And you can do it another way with viruses, but you would need brain surgery. It's very invasive. So definitely only animal models right now. But that could be more than enough to create therapies to help real people. Couple other limitations: not all neurons that turn on make FOS, so we're only capturing part of the story. Also, for example, during pain, some cells turn on, other cells turn off. And those cells that turn off are also important for the experience. So we're missing part of the story, but still, just being able to capture some of the on cells is enough to change behavior. Super cool stuff. Let me know what you think and if you have any questions. And as always, follow for more brain facts.